Hello again. I was talking to someone the other day and they were very defeated. Just their whole kind of psyche was defeated. And I think all of us get in that place sometimes. But he said, "Why in the world should I try so hard? Why does it matter?" And it got me thinking, what is it that makes our effort valuable? So I'm going to take that as our question today. What makes things valuable? If we haven't met before, my name's Alex Franks, and I've spent 29 years as a life coach and therapist. And the thought of what makes your efforts important, what makes things valuable, we can go 100 directions, and I probably will someday. But today I'm going to focus on why put out effort. The guy I was talking to was really talking about big global things. He was talking about big issues going on in the United States, big issues going on politically, some social injustice issues. And it really made me kind of think that if I don't have a life goal, if I don't have a principle that guides my life, what am I doing every day? I'm waking up in the morning, taking my shower, I'm brushing my teeth, eating my breakfast, go to work. I get done with work. Maybe I have lunch, maybe I don't. Man, I get home, I eat. Maybe I Netflix and chill. I don't know. But I go through life purposeless. And it doesn't matter what impact we make on the world if we don't know why we make the impact. I've got several reasons why I try to make an impact in the world. First of all, I'm a man of faith. So I believe that it's my call to put an effort in to make the world better. I wanted my children to have that same value, and I'm blessed that they do. But somewhere inside me, deep inside me, there has to be a code, a guiding principle that gets me through that every day. And so why is it important to keep giving effort? Why do I make an attempt? Why try? I'm going to give you mine. It's personal. I may not be able to influence my national politics. I'm not going to make a big difference in the party that I follow or don't follow. I'm not going to change somebody's opinions of life on Facebook. I don't know how to change all the world at one time. And I believe sometimes that's why we get overwhelmed by the stuff in the world, is we think we have to do all the changing, or we're powerless to make a difference. Here's what I believe. I'm going to try to make a difference every day, and here's my core value. Here's the depth. I want to positively impact one life every day. That's my life mission. Alex Franks impacts one life every day, 365 days a year, year after year after year. I'm getting closer to 60 years old. If I started this when I was 25, that would mean I have 30 plus years of working on this. Positively affect one life every day. Well, 365 times 30. Now, math is not my big strong suit. But all of a sudden, I've got 10,000 lives that I've touched? More? How do I make a difference in the world? Well, I may not make a big difference in the world by fighting somebody about their opinions on politics. I may not change the world because I'm on a hospital board or because I volunteer. But maybe I positively affect one life during all those things. I can have a really bad day and still find one person to be positive with. It changes the world one day at a time, one person at a time. And I have to be on my game throughout the whole day because I don't know what life I'm supposed to touch. It could be the cashier at the Walmart. It could be the receptionist at the doctor's office. It could be a client that sits in front of me. It could be a teacher that I ran into when I was grabbing coffee this morning. It could be the lady that owns the bake shop the bakery that's right next door to my office. Just a side note, if you ever have an office that's next door to a lady that makes great cinnamon rolls, you have to have a lot of discipline. Just saying. Maybe I fail at that sometimes. Since I never know what life I'm affecting, I've got to be on my game to constantly work on me, giving the best of me to somebody. How do you change the world? How do you make a difference? Why does it matter? Because maybe the life I touch today, I change their trajectory for a lifetime. And they start positively touching people in their life. And they start making a difference in their community. And all of a sudden, things change. Quick story. I live in a small community. We have a little grocery store. And about 7 years ago, there was this high school senior that got hired there to be a cashier. And there was always something about her that looked a little sad to me, just a little down. So I made it a point to go in her line. And I made it a point to talk to her, to say something positive, to encourage her. To, as she was scanning my items, talk about her day, ask her how school was. Talk to her about what her future plans were. Maybe I was the creepy old grandpa, but she'd share a little here and there. And her frown would turn into a smile when I was in her line. I'm going to fast forward 6 years. I get a call out of the blue. Hey, are you Alex, that big guy that does therapy? In our community, that's kind of what I'm known for. I'm Alex, the big guy that's the therapist. And I said, yeah, it's me. And she said, you don't remember me. I've never believed in going to therapy. I used to work at the grocery store. And every time you saw me, you talked positively to me. You were kind. You treated me with respect. I don't know what else to do, but I think I need somebody to talk to. And I don't believe in therapy, but I know you will talk to me. She had about 6 or 7 sessions with me. Man, we worked through some big stuff. I think she's doing pretty well now. I know she got married. I know she's gone to college. Why do we put in our effort? because you never know the impact that your one life today is going to make. How do you change the world? By touching one life every day. Somewhere I think we've lost that in the United States. Positively touch one life every day. You'll change the world. So remember, we're here to serve others, care deeply. And if you've got a question, why not ask?